Mwesige Jorram, Atwooki. I'm born in Toro, generally, and from Fort Porto, Cabarole. I started doing art when I was still a little boy, and only to find out that it's my talent, it's my gift from God. So I had to move on with it, and here it's where it has made me rich at the moment. My inspiration comes from nature mostly, and my own life experience. So my life experience has a story which helps me to compose. Like in relation with the nature, I always see the natural form of the world, the beautiful people, the beautiful cultures, behavior, human activity, you know, a lot of things. So these things really help me to understand the gift I have, and they motivate me to express it. Yeah, like the way I see things, interpret them, then give out a perception or an opinion through my art. I use two styles, realism and abstract. So mostly sometimes I distort the work I do, but I concentrate so much on the shapes of what I put in my work, because I like sometimes so much perfectionism, but at the same time I love beauty that comes out of distortion, because perfectionism comes mostly from imperfection. Like all perfect things have that imperfect side that makes the perfect side. So at the moment, that's why I'm trying to bond the two styles. So what I do is I think of a story or a theme, and then get my canvas, stretch it up according to the size I want, and then get my palette, select the colors I'm going to use, and then sketch up the composition. And of late, I've been really trying so much, since I'm having the two styles, the abstract and the perfection part of it, and the realism part of it. So I always find myself, after making a color, like selecting my colors on my palette, so I always sketch with the same paint. Like I don't get a pencil and first make a sketch, no. Like I get paint, get into the spaces where I want all my characters, where I want my composition to be in the canvas. Then I start using paint and then develop all the work or the art piece out of the paint. I've found a challenge whereby it takes so much time, sometimes even beyond the structured time when I've done work to sell. I may do work for some time and I'm like, oh, in the month, this is my target, because there are bills and other responsibilities to take care of. And most of the time, you realize as a painter, I spend it in my profession, what I'm doing best. So when that time comes and you haven't yet made like a sale, you know, there are certain things you have to cater for. And at a certain point, you find yourself in the deficit, the debit part of life. My best memory is when I was still in kindergarten, back in the days in Ushenyi. Our teacher gave us a specimen of a cow to draw, and when I was drawing it, she came and stood on my side. And when she looked at it, she was like, man, are you the one doing this? I was like, yes. So she was very happy. She got the small work I was doing. Then he went and took it to the head teacher. He showed it the whole school. But to me, it was just like nothing. Like, that's when I realized that I have maybe a gift that is naturally God-given. So I was very excited about it. Yes, that day when I went to my mom, I told her, Mom, you see, I did this thing, and the teacher appreciated it, took it to the headmaster, and they gave me a small gift of sweets. You know, they used to give us so much of sweets when we were very young as gifts, you know. So she was also excited. Now, what she decided to do was to give me all the drawings she used to have when she was at her tertiary institution of learning. So all the drawings they used to have, she would bring them at home and then tell me, you know, do for me this. So when I would do it and she goes to class, she would be sometimes maybe second or the best. Now they would ask her, how comes that you're always doing this thing, but you never do it when you're here? She was like, no, we have time to do this, so I do it at home. Yeah. And another memory, my best was last year. So that's why I have this painting here. This is my memory, the best memory of my life also, because it really expresses how I exactly feel about myself as an artist. It's quite amazing because sometimes you really also don't know what you're doing. That's the funny bit of it, because you're doing something that you do best. Yeah? It looks so simple, but if you look at what it requires, it requires commitment, it requires patience, the highest levels of patience, it requires belief, it requires trust, it requires honesty, like as if it requires the elements and the principles of living life, you know? And those define you as you, because you realize other people have things to do, and maybe they're quite different from what you're doing, or even if it was someone doing the same field with you, you realize your output defines still you. So if someone comes and is like, oh, I love your work, or maybe I'm seeing this thing in your work, yes, there is a way you feel. Sometimes you feel the real you. Sometimes you feel something that you didn't know about you. Maybe you experience it. So it's a mix. You get a mix of energy whereby you know the good and you know the bad. I've had many exhibitions. 2022, I had a mini exhibition with Duchess Hotel. So I had in my theme, I was exhibiting about the wildlife we have here. So I made compositions of the animals we have here, mostly the big fives. The biggest thing in this field is hard work. Hard work, it beats talent. And hard work is simply patience. You know, sometimes people think hard work is you go strain yourself, do this and this. No. Hard work is understanding that everything that you're doing, everything that is happening at the right time, right place, right people, right everything. I'm excited about one, having a gallery. So far, it's one of the biggest achievements I've encountered. And 2, I'm looking at creating more themes of my interests, mostly that talk about where I come from, that talk about my environment. For example, we need really take care of our environment. We need to improve on how to relate with our environment. I can say that believe by searching more inside yourself, because everything you want to do is just within you. Everything. That's why another person is doing certain things that are not in the time with you, that maybe are not in the same space with you. They have something they're concentrating on to do.